What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back, and this week we're gonna do a little twist on the picks. We are gonna have some games on the schedule, ranked matchups. We're also gonna be picking the conference tournament champions as well. But before we get into the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button to be entered into our 100 subscriber giveaway of an autographed item. Here we got last week's results, a pretty good week to start, and then obviously Saturday happened, and that's why you see all those losses and favorable matchups were tied. You got kind of bailed out there on Saturday. You got the two lucky wins, and I got only one of the lucky upset wins there. But I think the big takeaway here from this that nobody's really going to look at is that UConn Villanova win. Because if Villanova were to win that game, the Providence Villanova game this week would mean a lot more. But Providence has already clinched, and they won me a lot of money. So thankful to them. Shout out to Friars, big Friar fan this year. But Ty, what other game here were you most surprised in?
Biggest surprise, definitely Gonzaga. I mean, they've just been running through that conference, but it just shows. I mean, right now there's probably 12-ish teams that could win the whole thing, and there are probably double that could make the Final Four. So it's going to be a crazy March Madness. It's all the top six losing in one day, first time ever. It just shows there's no dominant team this year that's for sure going to win it all. So,
and here are our picks for the tournaments that start this week. I know some of them don't get over till the next week, so we'll release a whole video on all of the picks once we have got them all and all the tournament is over. So right before March Madness starts, Ty and I are starting out with the first three favorites of Murray State, Winthrop, and Loyola. And then after there, it gets pretty kept.
Yeah, I'm going with Georgia State. To be fair, we don't know too much about really any of these teams. The main analysis we had before the video was about the logos more than anything else. So that's about all we got. I got a lot of different picks after the first three, though, here. As you can see, obviously we had to go with Gonzaga. I mean, that was almost a lock despite their recent loss, but it's kind of a crapshoot for us.
I mean, I got to go with my school, because it'd be disrespectful to not pick my school to win in FGCU. But the LIU, I'm taking them because I like to drink Long Island's, and they're Long Island University, and they got a cool logo, so you got to go there. But I think probably the best conference tournament that you're going to see out of this one probably will either be the Valley with a lot of competitive teams, or even that Horizon League, because they're all so close together at top. But really, I think if you're into mid-major basketball and want to get a head start on doing some research into March Madness, this is where you want to start.
Yeah, I'll add underrated is the Southern Conference, most underrated conference in America.
And this takes us to our picks for the week. We got Baylor at Texas. And looking at those picks at the bottom, we are not really high on Texas pulling out this one at home. Especially after Baylor jumping up to 4 in our polls, 3 in the AP poll, and they're still not even in the lead in their conference yet. But that just speaks that they have, overcome some things this year with injuries and really clicking as a group and getting hot at the right time.
Yeah, I'm just not that high on Texas right now. They have some drama going on there. Trey Mitchell announcing he's transferring in February, which you don't usually see. And then his dad actually was taking shots at Texas on Twitter. It's a whole thing. But Baylor played really well against Kansas. They're starting to get healthy again, aside from Chama Chachua. So give me Baylor on the road pulling it off.
Moving over to Tuesday night, got to stay loyal to my Friars. So I'm picking the Friars on the road. This is their only home loss of the year at the Dunk. Of course, it was to Villanova, the second best team in the Big East this year. But I do think it'll be another close game, and we'll see if Providence can gut one out on the road.
Yeah, Providence obviously has played a lot of close games and won almost all of them. But I do think Villanova is the only team in the Big East with more playmakers than Providence for late game situations. They have Gillespie, they have Justin Moore, they have Slater. So I think Villanova is just more equipped for the close game, but I don't think it's going to be one of those 5-point games. I think it'll be closer to a 10-point margin for Villanova. Just a really tough place to win at. So give me the Wildcats.
And then after that game, you can tune in to ESPN at 9. Purdue, Wisconsin, and Purdue, barely lost to Michigan State at the end there on Saturday. Wisconsin coming off 2-win week, but I'm still liking Purdue here in this matchup. I think if they can win this game, they really show their dominance in the Big Ten. And maybe that game was kind of just a bad game for them or a good game for State. But once again, I think Jaden Ivey is still the best player in the Big Ten, just above Kofi Cockburn. And I think you always got to look at the best player here. Johnny Davis is obviously top 5, but I think him, Ivy, really good players, but they'll cancel each other out. And then you got to go with size. So I got to go with Edey and Williams here to really kind of take it to Wisconsin.
Yeah, I just think Purdue's defense is the issue here, and I'm going with Wisconsin to get the sweep, actually. Johnny Davis tore him up the first time they played for 37, I think it was.
Mhm.
And they don't really have any answers for him. Purdue's defense is in like the 150s for national rankings. So I think Wisconsin at home. If it was neutral side, I'd probably go Purdue, but at Wisconsin, I'm going to go with the Badgers here. And this would be huge for them fighting for the Big Ten title.
And after that game, stay on ESPN. You got a battle in the Pac-12. And this is the week we really see what USC is made of. You got Arizona coming into your place, number 2 team in the country. And they have one less loss than you. But, if you can beat them, I think you're in that top 5 category instantly. Just because of how crazy college basketball has been this year. I'm still going to go with Arizona here because USC is probably the worst 4-loss team that I may have seen this year. Very close games in their last 3. I think they've won by 6 points in their last 3 games, and a total of 6 points in their last 3 games. And that's not something you want to live by as your a top 15 team here. Arizona, I think that loss that they just had was a fluke loss. They're going to get over it here with a big win at USC.
Yeah, this would be a no-brainer, Arizona for me, but I don't know what happened to them on Saturday. They just completely laid an egg in the second half against Colorado, who is fighting for an NIT bid. So I'm not sure what happened there. And it's hard to trust them again this week going on the road against USC, coming off that loss. And USC got a good win at Oregon, which is a tough place to win at for everyone else so far in the Pac-12. So I'm going with USC. I don't feel great about it, but I think they'll pull it off.
And jumping all the way to Saturday, as you can tell, we've only done some ranked matchups this week. Not too big because we just want to kind of cool it down a little bit for March Madness and the conference tournament. But I did forget to change my pick here. It should say Arkansas there. I am rolling with the Hogs. I just picked them there in the big video bracketology to win it all. And since then, they've just lit it up a lot. And I think they can do it again here. And Arkansas will go on the road and get the win at Tennessee.
Yeah, these are 2 hot teams in the SEC, maybe the hottest, but I just got to go with the home team here. Tennessee's defense, I think, shuts down Arkansas. I think they win a tight game, but both of these teams are playing really well at the right time, and watch out for them in March.
And at 4:00, we got Texas and Kansas, and I'm going with the upset in Texas because I think Baylor is still going to somehow win the Big 12. And I don't know. I just think that Kansas, we've seen them struggle at home. Got to mention that Kentucky loss, of course. And this is a game that I could see them losing. I'm honestly 50-50 here. I think Kansas does have the advantage because they still are at home and they have motivation because they just did lose to Baylor. I think Texas is going to go in there and get one more signature win before Big 12 conference play starts.
I do think this will be a close game. Texas goes in with nothing to lose in this game. Everyone's saying they're going to lose this game, so they have nothing to lose. Kansas has the Big 12 championship to lose, so a lot of pressure on them. I think Texas makes it close, but I just think Kansas has too many weapons across the board here, and I think they'll find a way to pull it off like they've done so many times this year in close games. So give me Kansas in a close game.
And here at 10:00 on Saturday, we got USC, UCLA, and once again, I'm picking against the frauds. Give me UCLA, but they are a fraud team as well, I think. But because they're at home, and I think UCLA is more of a fraud, got to go with the Bruins here. And I think if they really want to make a run here, they need to step it up. And this is a great game to do so.
Yeah, UCLA is a really hard team to figure out this year for whatever reason. They go through stretches where they play really well, and then they just have weird losses. But like you said, USC is kind of a fraud team. Their best win in the last month was at Oregon, which is not an easy game, but if that's your best win and you're a top 10 team, people are going to have question marks. So going on the road, I'm going to go with the Bruins here, who I think are clearly the better team right now than USC.
That's going to be it for our video today. If you liked it, make sure you hit that like button and comment below on who you guys have in win some conference tournaments, or if you have some different picks as well. And make sure you hit the subscribe button as well to be entered into that giveaway that we mentioned earlier. But until the next time, the Bench Buddies are out.
She never called back.